the sun is just starting to climb up over the treetops. And it's gonna be a beautiful day, that's plain to see.
Welcome to Bill Dance Outdoors, America's most popular and longest running TV fishing show.
Now I've gone fishing with Bill Dance today.
You know, a fish wouldn't get in trouble if he kept his mouth shut, as my daddy always used to say to me. Wonder what he meant by that. Hello everybody. Several weeks ago, we did a Q&A show, and somewhere in there, I opened my big mouth and said, y'all got a question? Well, send it to me. Woo! Y'all took me seriously. We were flooded. Thanks. Today, we're gonna try and answer some of them as we fish along. Okay, here's one about jerkbaits. Bill, do you prefer to use a jerkbait with a rattle? Well, water clarity will dictate my choice. If I can see 3 feet deep, well, you can bet a bass can see a pretty long distance. Now, if there's low light, like early or late in the day, or even when it's a little overcast, or maybe even windy, it'll rattle. But like on a lake, let's say like Dale Hollow in Tennessee, or Table Rock in Missouri, or Ouachita in Arkansas, where I can see maybe 10, 15, or maybe even 20 feet deep, I'll do much better with a non-rattling jerkbait. Good. Come out of there. We'll swing up here. There we go. Well, that's a pretty one. Big and fat. How fat that is. See you later. A question about sonars. What's this all-seeing sonar I'm hearing about? Well, it's actually Garmin's Panoptics all-seeing sonar that provides the ability to see all around your boat in real time in 3 dimensions. A more live video look that shows fish swimming and moving forward or away from your boat. You can actually see your lure and fish react to it. It's really remarkable. There he is. Whoa, boy. Tough. Get out from under the boat. That ain't strong. Got barely hooked. Whoa. That's a pretty one. Yes, sir. Nice. Boy, I knew he was a good one. Nice one. Big old fat, pretty fish. Okay. Toodaloo. See ya. See, I grew up fishing this type cover. When I was little, this is where I really learned how to fish. The Mississippi River oxbows. Well, I spent a lot of time in Middle Tennessee fishing the creeks, but then, as I grew older, I started fishing these type lakes, and cypress trees, that was probably my number one object, my favorite object to fish, and I learned a lot about fishing. And these type lakes, the lily pads, the cypress knees, the cypress trees, the root systems. So I learned a lot about how to fish them, and I found out that you can catch fish off of them 12 months of the year. These oxbow lakes are a great place to fish.
Bill Dance Outdoors is sponsored in part by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. Rebel, catch fish anywhere. And by Mercury Marine, go boldly. Today's Conditions Log is brought to you by the Tennessee Department of Tourist Development. Come experience the kind of beauty that can only be made in Tennessee. Go online today for your free Tennessee vacation guide.
If you look, many of these trees have got the donut, the root wad around the tree. They've got the knees, cypress knees, and if you look, you can see these stems. Those are lily pad stems. The stems are still standing, but the bonnets have fallen off and they've dropped down and they've created a tremendous amount of cover. There's all sorts of cover in here for these fish. So actually it could be anywhere. You see the top, little big old pad right there. It's deteriorated, but it hadn't completely fallen apart. Ooh-wee. Nice fish right there. Ooh. Where are you going? Oh yeah, that's a good fish. Look at him take that pole. You toughy little rascal, you. Where did you get that hook? There we go. See all the colors in that worm? He liked it. Another one of those fat ones. Nice. Okay, see ya. Okay, got a question about line. Why is it important to spoo the correct amount of line on your reel? Actually, we're talking about a bait casting reel. If you fail to fill it, what it does, it's going to require more revolutions of the handle to take up the line. This means your lure speed is going to be slower when you begin your retrieve after you make a long cast than it will be as it gets closer to the rod tip. Now, if you overfill your spool, it's more apt to backlash. Now here's a good one. I had a fellow tell me at one of his recent Bass Club meetings, one of the members said something about adjusting the Skimmer transducer to help eliminate interference. And was I aware of possibly what he was referring to? Well, the engineers at Garmin say it's an acoustical interference caused by transducer location. It needs to be installed at least 1 foot away from your outboard's lower unit on the transom and away from any turbulence. Now this crazy mixed up water distorts the sound waves and echoes of the transducer. Now on the other side of the coin, a through hole transducer, if not properly installed, will create interference not placed in the correct location, or air bubbles in the epoxy is normally the problem. Other problems could be electrical in the power source, could be a dirty transducer that needs cleaning, or it could be crosstalk, where 2 units close together are operating on the same frequency. You just need to take a little time and trace out the problem. Good fish too. Whoa, Buster. Boy, you sweet little fish, you. How healthy they are. You pretty little baby. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. See ya. Woo! I like that.
Today's show is sponsored in part by Quantum Rods and Reels, Mystic Lubricants, Lubrication Domination, and Tracker Boats, fish the finest. Today's equipment log is brought to you in part by Gamakatsu, because the fish of a lifetime only comes once in a lifetime. Today's show is sponsored in part by Stren, the standard of dependability since 1958. Fish Defunk, kill the stink. And Garmin, fight your fish, not your fish finder.
Look here. Pretty fish right there. And I'm in a strong one. Well, it's a fat one too. Look at that fat fish. That's something. Yep. How fat they are. Coloration on that fish. Now that clear water. Nice. See ya. Some of these dudes have moved in around the base of these cypress trees, especially the trees in about 3 feet of water with a good root system on them. Okay, now let me tell you about this new bait that Bass Pro Shop just came out with. It's a new, as I just said, it's a new worm, and it's extremely soft. It's finesse worm. Now, they have 3 vibrant color poured layers, 3 color layer patterns for better visibility. And what else that I really like about these little wormy jobs is that they create an amazing swimming action, especially when you rig them with a light weight. They've got a flat side here where you can rig them, and they're thin and they're fat. You've got a little flat tail right here. They swim extremely well. You can rig them with a little lightweight lead head. You can Carolina rig them, or you can drop shot them, or you can rig them the way we've got them with a light slip sinker. And I'd suggest using a light wire hook. I'm using a little 1/0 Gamakatsu offset wide bend hook. It seems to work extremely well with that little bait. Ooh, good cast. There he is. What is it, boy? Where are you going? I got a stick on my... Coming back around this way, are you? Whoa. There went my stick. You can't see that worm, can you? Huh? You see it? You saw it once, so didn't you? Look at it now. Nice fish. Okay, see ya. Got a question here about a new technology for braided lines. What purpose does Glide Coat do for braided line? Well, the folks at Strand say Glide Coat technology allows it to cast farther, smoother, and quieter. Now, I really like it, and I'm crazy about the way it casts on both bait casting and open face spinning. Your braid kind of glides through the guides like a zip of electricity traveling through a power line. The Bill Dance Question and Answer of the Week is brought to you by Mystic Lubricants and their complete line of JT4 marine products. A full line of products for your full line of pursuits. Visit mysticlube.com today. Now here's a question you'll never ask if you use Defunct. What's that smell? The Defunct family of wipes and sprays kills odors and kills them big time. Cleaning an onion, fish, a cooler, live well, or even your dog, and it's environmentally friendly. Defunct eliminates those horrible odors completely. It also removes human scents and enhances your chance of catching more fish.
Today's show is sponsored in part by Millennium Marine, a new class of comfort. And Motor Guide, trolling motors engineered for anglers. Closed captioning is provided by Bill Dance Digital. Follow us. Today's product tip is brought to you by Garmin and their GPS map series, chart plotter sonar combos. With advanced sonar technology like Chirp and exclusive Panoptix all-seeing sonar, you'll spend less time finding your fish.
Have you ever wished you could bring shade over the top of you on a 100-degree day? Well, now, thanks to Millennium's Shade Tree, you can. With this neat attachment, you can create and carry shade wherever you want. Attach it to your seat pedestal, slip in your umbrella, and you can choose where you want the shade to fall all the time. The Shade Tree, and you'll have it made in the shade. A cool product.
Come be a part of Bill Dance Digital. Join us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow us.
There we go. Here's another question about braid. Bill, I know you fish a lot of braided line on your spinning reels. What's the best way to set your drag? Well, you know, I'm sure there's a proper way of setting it, but what I do is set mine where the drag slips on the hook set. In other words, when I set it, it just slips. So the proper way, I just go by just what I said. It just slips on the hook set. And I find it works pretty doggone well for me. I'm getting a bite. Whoa, he's still floating. Come here. There we go. There we go. Nice. They're all healthy. All healthy. Now here's a question we asked David Dunn, Senior Manager of Marine Sales and marketing for Garmin. David, do you think electronics have become the elements of our fishing trips that we can't live without? I know I'd feel this way if my units quit working. Okay, what about it, David?
Electronics have become a vital part of our fishing trips. We've grown so accustomed to the conveniences that they bring. You know, we don't get enough time to fish as it is, so you don't want to waste that time riding around the lake, wasting fuel, trying to find where the fish might be, when you can use our quick draw, our maps, our sonar to target where those fish really are and spend that critical time actually catching fish. So, to answer your question, yes, I wouldn't want to go on a fishing trip without our electronics either.
Thanks, David. That's great. You know, my graph is normally one of the first things I turn on. So helpful for temperature, safety, and naturally, all the other tremendous benefits these units offer. Come run at me. Oh yeah. Ooh-wee. Ooh. That's the best fish I've caught all day right there. That's a good one. He's barely hooked. Big old fish. Look at the size of that. Get some line back here. Oh, come on back here. Hooked you good. Look at that one. Nice, nice, nice. Turn you loose. Well, today has come to an end, for us anyway. We sure hope we've answered some of your questions. If not, we'll try to get to them on future episodes. But until then, catch one for me. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Now I've gone fishing with Bill Dance today.
Thanks for watching Bill Dance Outdoors. Join us here again next week.
Now I've gone fishing with Bill Dance today.